Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're live on a Sunday night during the international break because why the hell not, really? International breaks tend to drag, and it's normally one of those times where I was live late earlier in the week. We all like to do a wee bit of housekeeping, we like to have a wee look at our galleries, have a look at fixtures coming up, and just see what's going on. And I reached out to my usual co-pilot, my pal Harry Trades, and said, Harry, let's go live and have a bit of a chat. And he's like, I'd love to. So here we are. Harry, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Yeah, always whenever you call, especially on a weekend, we're normally not doing too much on a Sunday evening, right? So
that's it. And
makes sense.
I've got the kids getting watched as well, so I've got a wee bit of
nice.
We've got silence in the house, so yeah, all good crack as well. But just as we were flipping on, we were just talking about the teams we've got still running this weekend from the deadline show on Friday, as well as what we're getting set up with some rival stuff. So we do have some games kicking off, and I'm just halfway through. I've got one win streak. Me and Harry I was saying to Harry, I was bemoaning the summary system on the app. When you open it up after a bunch of games, and it will just tell you like loss, victory, loss, victory, and then just how that kind of sequence normally kind of pan out. Much to my frustration. Harry, but you already set your teams, have you, for these ones that are coming up?
Yeah, I've done this. I think there's 3 internationals right now. Well, in 40 odd minutes, but then there's a Liga 2 game which I'm literally just doing right now for rivals. So yeah, I think those are my four rivals. I got a 1 out of 3 win streak. Well, not a win streak, but one of 3 right now. So I need 2 victories on the bounce to. I did get a 3 win streak yesterday, and I won some essence, actually. I won 1 essence from the 3 win streak, right? And then from the, like one of the 2 missions that you get like a 1-star box or whatever. I actually won 3 essence from one of those, which is, I feel like that must be quite a low probability to get 3 from that compared to like 1 from the 3 win streak. So yeah, we're working our way up the essence ladder, but yeah, just setting a few teams now. Double defense, I think, like you said, maybe a little Gegenpress, park the bus scenario potentially.
Yeah, well, we're just looking at those wee boxes. One of the ones I've got is park the bus, and I did it for the Austria game, but now I'm looking at this Ireland team. I'm thinking this might be the team to go park the bus with, like Scales, Cullen, Nathan Collins, maybe O'Shea. Nathan Collins is affordable, isn't he? Yeah, easily.
Definitely.
Could maybe do something like that. Tiki Taka's for the roof for some reason.
They won't get that much possession away to Greece, will they?
Yeah, park the bus. That feels good. I'm actually going to go back and change the Austria team now. I just think Austria will beat Norway, so that's essentially what I'm going to try and fix. So I went for kind of park the bus move, but I think I'd rather go for the goals. Oh, look at that! Bang on, 250 points.
Beautiful.
I don't think shots on target. Yeah, Haaland will get 1 or 2. Hopefully, one of our guys can. Gegenpressing.
To get a couple.
Yeah, maybe Limer if I'm lucky, or Posh. But mainly Haaland is going to be shooting, isn't he?
Probably, yeah.
All right, let's go for it. Captain Savvy.
Hope Penn saves them all.
Yeah, so park the bus in the Ireland game. Super sub. I can maybe use a sub in the Ireland game, depending on how that goes. But aye, try and get a wee win streak on the go for myself.
Yeah,
you're glancing ahead in the game weeks.
In the chat, saying about they have changed the probabilities, haven't they, of some of the bits. So it looks like here 5% chance at a 3-card essence capsule from the light box, and then from the 2-star box, it is an 8% chance.
Nice.
50% ticket, and then what's the ticket in this? Or combined, what's that? 65.
Yeah.
And then this is the one where they've really reduced the ticket percentages, I think, down to 30%. So I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like, what would you prefer, really? 3 tickets or 1 essence?
Oh, 1 essence all day.
Would you?
Yeah. For limited, yeah.
I guess if you've got no tickets, you want the tickets, right? It depends on your situation, surely.
Fair. That Top Scout one's almost always there, but I think, isn't it? So
every day, I think, yeah, like refreshes, doesn't it? Oh, every 15 hours, yeah.
So you pick up a card or 2.
If you're free to play, then that ain't going to be an option, is it, really?
Fair. But what's the point in having tickets if it's not to win the essence?
Well, to win, can you win cards from there these days? Yeah, you can win cards.
Yeah.
It's like a 10% chance at a card these days. 8.5, 9.5, yeah, literally 10%.
Right, that's pretty sweet. I think I've won 2 cards out of box. No, actually, I think it might have been a different mode. But I got 1 essence out of a box yesterday, I think, or the day before, a mission box. It wasn't like a free win streak. And or it must have been 2 essence, actually, because I was on 19 and now I'm on 21, so I could craft a wee giveaway card, perhaps. But I thought maybe get it to this one, where you just know it's definitely not going to be a definite dud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of wipe them out.
100%. No, I get that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, without the 3-win streak card win, like my road to glory would be nowhere near where it is because of that Alessio Castro Montes win. So I think someone in my comments, Quinny, mentioned they won a Saka. Like they were like, I've just won a Saka. It's the first card I own. Like, what do I do? Like just a random comment on on my latest road to glory. I was like, mate, just sell it. Like sell it and buy 5 teams, like or whatever. You know, like you got no business just owning one Saka. So, but like it's like that is the beauty of it. Like that is the selling point, isn't it? Not that that's what we're going to talk about today, but like how mad is that? Like you literally just play 3 games, you win 3, and you win a Saka. And I know that's not happening to everyone, but Jesus, man, like the fact that can happen is fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is. I think like definitely the box element is something that kind of flipped the game up a little bit. And again, it's been a lot of chat for the last wee while, isn't it? Like boxes of rewards, and I think like you don't really get card potential in boxes for game weeks. If memory serves me right, it is just essence. No. There is no, and that was something that we had in like that handover period, like back in May, where there was cards. It was before essence existed, in fact, so it was only cards, wasn't it? But there was a chance of crap stuff. I can't remember how they were built out before. But
yeah, because early on, remember I won that Diaz. That was like day. That might have been like game week 1 of game week 1 of cards being in boxes. I think.
Yeah, and it was just random, on card or no card, and that was a wee bit more boom or busty. Whereas this obviously is a bit more stable, but it's like everyone knows they're working towards something.
Yeah, but it's literally a progress bar, isn't it? Like as plain and simple as it gets, really.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why, like, that's kind of dictated my attitude towards it in terms of like, I don't know. I kept the rare one just now. Like, but when it first came out, I did 2 rares at like 40 points or whatever the lowest one is, and they were both genuine duds. One was like a 35-year-old third choice goalkeeper, and the other one was somebody else equally as minging. So I thought this time I'll keep it, and I really wanted to keep the rare one going a bit higher because I was getting it across different regions. You know, I was getting it from contender and champion primarily, and then like the last month, the New York boys have won 2 or 3 boxes that had some stuff in it. So when it got to like that tier 3 mark, I thought, you know, it might just be as well flushing it and seeing what comes out. And then like, I think really just once you take tier 5 out of the equation, you can certainly have a wee bit more RNG fun with it. Because whenever, I've mentioned this before, but whenever I watch Nep open his boxes and the way he crafts cards, I definitely think for whatever your kind of main hustle kind of scarcity is, the one that you want to have 3 robust teams in the important in seasons or whatever that you're targeting, that's the strategy to do it, because you need random guys that can fill in your third team. You need random good guys that can come along out of thin air and make your first team better. And like getting as high at 250 and 500, like, it is a slog even for the big accounts. It doesn't take them 2 weeks to do it.
I just think it's unreal. Like, as much as any size account wants to win a tier 1 plus or whatever, I just think it's so unrealistic from like a lower budget standpoint. If like you're not churning a crazy amount of essence every week, because you're actually stifling your own progress by waiting so long, right? Because by the time you craft, the season's over. The fucking tier 1 you've won is pointless. Like what good is it now after you've got a couple of games left? You're just really hamstringing yourself, I think. And as much as tier 5 pluses and maybe tier 4 pluses are, you know, quote unquote gambles in the sense that like you can end up with a dud, obviously. But like, you know, take my Super Zanka, for example. If I don't pull 20 essence there, I don't get Zanka and I don't win 3 grand. Simple as. Because I wouldn't have had a good matchup in season. I don't have enough in season cards to pick and choose. Well, at that point I didn't. So the reason I was doing the 20 essence pulls is because I needed an abundance of super rare cards. And if you look at my in season stuff, this Jambo, look at the scores he's just put up last 2 games. That was a 20 essence card. It's just like, and that 100 was the game week I won the money, but I didn't even use him. It just shows like 20 essence cards can't, and it's not as if he was a tier 1 or anything. I think he was a tier 4, maybe even a tier 5. Like he hasn't, the scores weren't great before that. This was obviously him in France, and he was great, but he hasn't really got going yet at Columbus Crew. And him, and I crafted this Azizu Tara. I think he was my first ever craft, and you'll get some that do look like this, and that's just part of it. Like you aren't gonna luck out in all of them, but I think over time, you will get a couple that look like this, and then eventually they help you win things. Where if you're just waiting for that tier 1 plus, especially if you're not churning at like a very interesting rate, I think you're just losing the race. Like I just think you're just running with one leg basically.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at all them. So they're all 20 essence crafts. And how many have you got? I see 3 on the top
5.
shelf. 2 on the
5,
second.
2, 3, 4, 5. So 100 essence basically. But like I've been hitting a lot of super rare essence. Like every week,
I've only got 23 this season. I've not even crafted one.
But I'm putting out. So you're not putting out any in-season super rare lineups, are you? Is the issue?
Yeah, so classic.
So I'm scoring like 400 plus, say, in super rare in-season challenger, and that's getting me boxes. I'm obviously getting a few boxes from under 23 as well, which is obviously classic. But the point still stands. If you're playing in season, you're gonna just churn boxes quicker. Simple as.
Aye, that's definitely a part of my equation. I never really factored into super rare as the 50% box part of it, because I think I heard you and Laird talk about it. I heard somebody talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely what my super rare is missing at the moment in that regard. But I've still been adding some supers over the last 2 or 3 months, but I've been more, again, like I always do with my gallery, I'm always kind of backfilling and making sure that like what I've got is like fucking solid and round, and then it's like trying to build up a bit in terms of whatever the direction is at the time. Obviously we've got it pretty clear, set in stone now these days. But yeah, so with the rare one, I thought that's kind of that strategy. I'll be able to do that much better with rare than super rare. It feels like I've maybe missed a wee trick there this season, especially with the beginning of it. Because like you said before, like I maybe have I don't know if pushback's the word, but like even it's like your card is worthless at the end of the season. It kind of depends, right? Because like it's great you've won that. I really hope you do it again. But see, most people, like how many times will they do that a season? Maybe one. And maybe if that one time is at the very end because you waited for a good card to finally come your way, rather than the jeopardy of Zanka versus Housen or whatever, doing that every time, and maybe I don't know. So
I'm not saying the card's pointless. I'm just saying you won't get the in-season out of it, right? Do you know what I'm saying? That's the issue. The card could be great, but it's great next season, and it's a classic card now. Realistically, that's the issue. It still could be a good card, but I think it's a race where like you, especially if you are not churning a crazy, like I'd consider myself, especially at super, I've probably churned way more essence than I thought I would have, honestly, going into this, like starting season. I didn't think I would be churning 100 essence by now. But I think that if you're not churning a good amount of essence, like I'm not churning that much rare essence, really. I'm just trying to think back at how many I've crafted. I've got a little Vlap there. I've probably sold 1 or 2. I've probably done the same amount of rare essence than I have super rare, which that ain't great from a rare perspective, because I'm putting out way more rare lineups than I am super. And I just think if you're churning even less than that at rare than I am, I don't know. I'm not saying it has to be tier 5. It can be tier 4 plus. Like that's not an issue. But like Rocco Reach has probably been the only. He was a tier 5 plus, which was actually a tier 3, if that makes sense. But like I've not really got that lucky on any of them. Like I've not hit a tier 2 or a tier 1 yet. But I can afford not to do that, right? Because I've got a decent sized gallery. Whereas if you don't, then of course you are sort of gambling on getting a T3, 2, 1 from a tier 5, 4 plus. So like it's all tough to do, and it's up to it's up to you at the end of the day. Like whatever, right? But it's really tough to churn boxes if you're not playing any sort of in-season lineup.
Yeah,
in-season players are literally churning twice as quick as you are as classic players. Fact.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it is. I think with rare essence, I've done a bit better than that. Feels like where I'm getting my essence from. Majority of boxes, I've got rare boxes most weekends, which has been fun. And but yeah, that I've kind of missed out the element of like I've always had at least one in-season contender team. I'm now up to maybe 2.5, maybe 3, depending on lineups and stuff. over the first like how long we into the season, 7 games or something, 2 months, something, so I'm quite happy with that. But I've definitely noticed by stark contrast when I look at like super rare, even limited, by the way, which I have no limited cards for. I've already crafted like a bunch of limited cards. I've managed to pull like Rivals Essence, and I do have like those New York cards that have limited keepers that I've just been slinging in to classic modes and like getting lucky. I think they've maybe pulled 2 or 3 boxes, nothing incredible, but I've got way more limited essence this season than I have
That's
super.
That's actually nuts. 30. I've only crafted one limited, so 31 essence. That's purely coming from one under 23 lineup every weekend, and then just obviously Rivals. Like Rivals is the cheat code. If you're just playing limited, you've got to be just absolutely smashing Rivals out.
Here, is this screen always been there, by the way?
Yeah, it has. And you can check the pools.
That's quite cool. I never knew that.
No.
This is a fun one. So I just thought, is there a page where it can just show you everything that you've produced? That's what I'd like to see somewhere here. Like you click on it and like card craft history or something. I don't know. And you can see what you've made, because if you've not got them anymore, like I won't, so I'll give them away probably. Then yeah, can't really track it, can you, in that way?
Yeah, because I don't think they'll come up on Sorare data either. Like, in like your cards one, I don't think it comes up there, does it? Necessarily, because it's not from like a competition of some sort.
Yeah.
I wonder how, like, are they ever going to track that? I don't know.
I think it's this tab. There we go. Yeah, so I just crafted that last hour, and I was actually quite I didn't really finish that wee anecdote, but like I was quite chuffed that it was a champ in season keeper. I thought, oh, that's lovely. Like if you could ask for a profile or something at tier 3+, that's probably something you'd be quite chuffed with. Yeah. So yeah, no, you're right. I don't have him here. Last hour he should be here if he was a win, but he wasn't. And do you know what I was thinking of this as well? I was like, I could have swore I won champ super rare D2, especially after you won the housing. I was thinking about it, and like I did. I won this guy here, and I was thinking, imagine winning a division and still like I've still not got past. Like I've just got to 23 essence, I think, last weekend before the internationals, but it was like, surely winning a division as well, you'd think maybe that would be something. Guarantee 50 essence or something.
That should be like, well, yeah, there should be some sort of incentive like that, shouldn't there? Really, that just makes it a bit more juicier. Because, like, if you don't get a good pull, like, no disrespect, like your gay he was for your gallery, like it's not a good pull, is it? No. Yeah, like it just kills you. So, like, what actually has come out of that? In the nicest way possible is like, at least if you had 50 essence, you could go and craft a fucking tier 4+ that could end up being a good card that can really help you.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, yeah, that would, you'd hope that'd be the case, but then you might get another guy out the fucking factory.
At least you get a chance, though. Like at least you get another shot at it. But yeah,
of course. Aye, so I've kind of found David's like that. On you go, sorry.
I was just saying, David's most recent comment there's like hit the nail on the head. I think that Super Whale Quinny one sums up like why you shouldn't be playing it. You have to be a mega whale to have any skin in Super Rare. Depends where. I'm
kind of frustrated by like how well I've not done so far, but I do think a big part of that is like I've not got like team smashing, and then I'm going like I've not got McBride's problem where like you're winning stuff and it's like, oh, I'm winning crap. I'm at the stage where I'm like I've not had 5 good scores really come together that often. That was a midweek win, that guy as well, which then when you win in the midweek, you're always downplaying it a bit, aren't you? Like, it's midweek pools, and whatever. So I just thought the division system and a little bit of the cull. I think the cull's kind of continuing at this point, but I thought like more people leaving Super Rare, especially in the summer, and the divisional system, I thought it would have benefited people like me, where maybe you don't, like I was in D1 for a while, struggled and got relegated with my first team, but I would have thought like you could do well enough in the other divisions when you are getting promoted, or when you do have 5 guys that line up well together, that it would be a watered down version of what being good or winning divisions is, if you know what I mean, because it's just also a lower division. But I've not even like that's the only Super Rare card I've won, from places, because there's only like 6 of them, you know what I mean, that go out.
So
4
yeah, I don't know, but that's the issue though. Like the whole gripe with Super is once you've got from your your situation you're explaining there to McBride's situation where you are winning stuff a bit more frequently, you're still disappointed. So it's like, what is the actual point getting from Quinny to McBride? Like, there's no actual point if you're just going to be disappointed anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The reason I play Super Under 23 is because it's a little bit different there. Like, it's not the same. There's a bit more cards to go around, and there's just more things that can happen. There's less stacks to worry about, and that's why I've always played just under 23 in general forever. Never mind, if you break it down by scarcity. But yeah, you'll find that problem in Challenger, of course, where I do play a bit of Classic. But yes, it's tough. It's really, really tough.
Like I'm kind of half confident that like if I got my ducks in a row, like I should be doing a little bit better than what I have. But like Girona have been shit, Sociedad have been shit. And I know what you're saying in terms of like going from A to B, it's not, it doesn't really look like it's much better or all the rest of it. But like you just won $3,000 that weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's kind of, but unless you're in D1, what is D1 La Liga Classic? I don't even know if it is $3,000, is it? It's probably a decent amount, but I can't imagine it's that much because it's Classic, obviously. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
But that's kind of part of my thing as well. Is it's like winning cards isn't really the big payoff it once was. It is winning the cash is the big payoff.
Right. But you haven't even got the in-season La Liga cards to even get there. That's the issue, isn't it? It's like, that isn't it? Like you need that, like that injection to fucking like get yourself even in a ticket into the race. Never mind winning the race, 1,200 quid. But like think of the team. Like I know just Mikey. He's in the chat. Like Mike showed me some crazy I know his gallery as well. Like he's got Yamal, he's got the La Liga gallery, right? Like if you want it, you want to explain it that way. And he's even struggling to podium. Do you know what I mean? So it's like he actually has like every single good card you probably want in La Liga. You could put it down to a bit of unlucky. And he's first right now. Go on, Mike.
Go on, Mike. Oh, look at that. That's a sexy team. Dom's got another game to go, doesn't he?
Yeah. And Gakpo as well.
That doesn't need it. That's fucking incredible. And then the pool's Mingenby, I think.
I hope I didn't build that lineup for you, Mike, because there'll be a little 10% coming my way.
I don't know. This pool looks all right.
Right. This is international. But... Oh, yeah. Imagine winning that, by the way. Oh, my God. You'd be fuming. I'm sorry.
They would swap that, but wouldn't they?
No, because the injury wasn't 2 weeks within 2 weeks. That's the new rule now. It used to be if
Roger get injured, was it not?
That's the problem. It's more than 2 weeks. You won't get a swap. If it was less than 2 weeks, you'd get a swap. That's the new rule. You can search him up. I swear.
I don't doubt it. I don't understand it.
I know. I'm just saying it's just mental. I crafted a card that guy who plays for Fortuna Sittard. He's done his ACL, and because it was like not in the last 2 weeks, you ain't getting zilch basically.
So they're saying if it's over 2 weeks, then they should be in the correct pool. So if you've got them, then tough. That's the pool they're supposed to be in.
But I think so.
But so Rodri should be a tier 1 now that he's injured.
Well, he either should be that or like not in the pools, in my opinion.
Would you take injured Rodri as a tier 1?
Probably, yeah.
I think I would as well.
Maybe. It's tough, isn't it? Because like, say in your position now, you win a tier 1 after not winning a super rare. I think you would still be but you would be gutted, wouldn't you? Because like it's still Rodri, but fuck me, like you need a card to come in and do a bit of business for you. Not like a Rodri that's unbelievable. We know, but Jesus, there's a lot of risk there. Yeah, I agree with Charles, but they don't, do they? We've seen it. Like they don't adjust for whatever reason. Like it just doesn't happen.
Gustafsson's still here. The bottom of the pool's a wee bit sketchy,
Yeah.
Some of these guys are so good.
Oh,
Tavernier.
100%. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation to have, but yeah, I kind of agree with Josh there. I'm not sure injured players should be in the pools in general. Defeats the purpose of winning in-season utility. I do get it. I do, especially now, because when they first brought in that rule, Quinny, wasn't it? We didn't have in-season or not in-season. We just had cards. And it made sense because you want to win injured verts. Everyone wants to win it. Yeah. But now, like, you don't even want to really win in injured Rodri, do you? Let's be real. Yeah,
the in-season part of it is definitely an element to be considered, isn't it? In terms of 100%. The ranking of a tier for a reward, because that's definitely something that has to have some weight on it. Because like if he is confirmed out for season, like even this from Rob P, I think maybe he's a tier 2. Like, I don't think anyone complains at tier 2, do they?
Probably
tier 1's
not.
dicey.
Tier 1's dicey because you know you could get a really good tier 1, which helps you day dot. You know,
Yeah.
Rodri in season injured does not help you day dot. I don't care what anyone tells you, especially anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After 3 months removal, maybe that could work as well. I don't know, but part of the good thing about the injured cards was that they did lose supply. So, like, for all intents and purposes, you do just want cards to have less issuance, you know, like for as long as possible, regardless of what scarcity you're playing in. Like, there's some lovely limited cards this year that have got their first issue, and like their price, their individual market is very different to the limiteds that are kicking on to their fourth season or something, you know. And you just kind of notice that in the market, so you can always want that. So there's a bit of value in just shelving them, isn't there?
Yeah, and until like Sorare know there's an issue with Super, they've sort of admitted that. Do they have the cure for it? No. But they have mentioned it, haven't they? And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to be patient on it, I guess.
I love this team from Mike, by the way. It's a fucking quality team. Somebody was mentioning to me that they had an international stack thanks to a Liverpool collection. And I know this isn't directly a Liverpool collection, but it's obviously a stack there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love that kind of thing paying off.
100%. Yeah, those are my favorite little quirks with, like, Modric as a part of my little Real Madrid collection. He won't get a sniff of a game normally, but like I just love having a Modric because I just know, you can always count on him internationally. I mean, he just scored back-to-back almost 100, to be fair, but nobody really knew he was going to play this one, I don't think. What a man. Guy. 39. What a bloke.
Do you know who I was tempted to buy earlier today? I didn't do it. I'm still maybe half tempted. Oh. It's all but confirmed he's returning to Serie A. You might have caught it on the timeline.
Ooh, Balotelli.
Super Mario's going to Genoa. And I just thought he could get 10 goals between now and the end of the season. That was the first thing I thought. Yeah, I mean,
he'll be on pens, wouldn't he? Definitely.
That's what I thought. He could be on pens. He'll have a wee point to prove. He'll have like a really good 3 months, you know.
And then just blow up.
and then he'll be back in the supercars firing fireworks off and not showing up to training and just going, I can't be fucked to this anymore. And, you know.
I mean, like, what, super rare or rare or just both? Or?
Oh, rare, 20 quid or something. Yeah.
I mean, at 20, that's the issue though. At 20 quid now, short, you could get somebody way more guaranteed, can you, for 20 quid?
Probably, but they wouldn't be
bad. That actually turns up to trade and doesn't own any fireworks.
Yeah, I'm not sure he could get to 10 games. That's a good point, Rob. But he could get the 10 goals without the 10 games.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm always tempted by guys like that. I love that comeback story. I love those Maverick players like that. Just
Pepe.
Yeah, I'd like to get a James at some point as well, but I don't think he's even played in La Liga yet.
I don't think he has, is he? I know he did some nice AA over this break. Actually, no, I think he got a 1. Yeah, he's made 2 appearances. Oh no, he's made a couple.
4. All from the bench, except 1.
Yeah.
And then against Bolivia, they're 71. That's a fun card in season. Yeah,
it is a pretty fun card, especially if they have. I don't know what their fixtures look like, but I think that kind of rolls into what we kind of wanted to speak about a little bit, wasn't it? I was just messaging. You messaged me. What was the premise of the stream and stuff, and I said, I really think the fact that we have international breaks so frequently now, not that we've never not had that, but they're just so prevalent. On the SD calendar, it's like 4 weeks, 4 games, international break, 4 weeks, international break. It does really break up the season and break up players and break up fixtures and break up what you want to do with galleries and strategies. Oh my God. What? 28 quid. He was one of my first ever super rares, Maxi Gomez.
He's a hero. I've got, and he went 8 hours ago for 75. So I don't know if it was a quick flip around on that. No,
it's weird.
75 bangers.
Mental. He's got a career left, hasn't he? Surely somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. He's good.
Yeah, he's
just kind of. He just went for money, and then that's. maybe been the end yet. Fucking hell, that's a spot. More like I get 10 points in this driver's license. Yeah, maybe.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Ian. James, yeah, what are Vallecano's?
I just looked at James on SD, like that wee run that you're about to check. It's not bad, by the way.
It's a decent run, yeah.
Villarreal are the form team, but in La Liga, I don't know.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Villarreal the stack to do it with if you wanna gate a guy your way into something. For this next little block, even beyond the 4-week block. But like going back to the block, I just think, yeah, for me, I'm really sort of focused now on, what I can achieve in those 4-week periods, from what I have in my gallery already, and then it's, well, do I need to add anything into it? And of course, it's hard to forecast all this if you've got injuries and stuff. But a simple, really simple way of doing that. We all kind of know how to do it, unless maybe you don't, which is fine. But yeah, just sort of looking forward and seeing where you've got some nice fixtures lining up and stuff. And Champ is the one that I'm sort of targeting now over these next couple of weeks. So you go into game week, what's this, 21, and it's like, okay, well, Bulka at home to Monaco, not great, but you probably take it. Kimmich is away, but you can live with that. And then it's like, well, do I need to improve on my forward options here? Like, is there an in-season forward that I'm really lacking, or always going with, Reim at home to Stade Brest? Like, fine, maybe for the first lineup, and then it's like, okay, well, where do my leftovers come into this? And ideally, as much as possible, I want to be running the same 5 from like a headache standpoint. I don't really want to be chopping and changing it too much, unless there's just like horrible fixtures. So like, my second lineup would be D3. Right now, I've got, Kelleher probably fits in there, but like away to Arsenal. Like, you're already off to a tough start. So it's like, okay, well, is having an in-season Kelleher really going to do me much over this next 4-week period? Because, Liverpool's fixture, I think they've got, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Villa. Like, they're not easy games. 3 at home, mind.
That's as hard as it gets, mate. Like,
I mean,
Chelsea,
great,
Chelsea, Champions League, Arsenal, Brighton, Champions League, Aston Villa.
No Alisson as well.
That's a tough run. But some of the players, maybe not the goalkeeper, but some of the players will have big games in there, where Liverpool do get points, somebody will rip. But it's not a goalkeeper's run.
Not at all. So then it's like, well, what are my leftovers looking like? I've got a couple of in-season boys in here that can fill out, but it all depends on like, how deep you want to go in the competition. Like, I'm happy to just have one good lineup, I think, in Champ, and just, if the 5's good, the 5's good. Yeah, and I'm quite happy to just sort of box my way into these Division 3s and stuff. I think that's the goal for me. Unless you're in Division 2 or above, in my opinion, for how my gallery's looking here, I'm not looking to cash out on anything as far as like winning much cash. It's not something that's in my thinking. Whereas, if I am in D2, which I can work my way up to that, which is the goal, it kind of makes sense to do it that way. But like, it's just like a leftover knee stack at that point then, without the keeper, realistically.
Yeah,
but that's fine enough for a little box hunter. I think that's what they should be sort of designed for. But I just think we're going to be seeing, or we are seeing, the game shift so much more now, in that like, it's just all about, not all about, but like, it's just so much easier if you've got a good run of fixtures coming up with your players. And there's some players that are obviously fixture proof, which is like the level above, players with good fixtures, because every fixture is good for, maybe a Kimmich or whoever. But we all want to get to that level where all our 5 players are fixture proof. But that's the tough thing, right? We're not all in that position where we can just chop and change. I've got 1 defensive stack to choose from. Some people have 10. And that's the difference, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think you're definitely looking for players that have, it's funny with all this chat coming back up. I remember we did a few videos on this not too long ago, and we called it, I can't remember what we called it, but it wasn't important anyway. And the one that killed it was me and Laird done it, and we spoke about, we'd been looking at Marseille, and we both couldn't believe, like, oh, Marseille are going to kill it. And then ever since we did the video, like the run they went on was absolutely horrible. Like they just started conceding goals like fucking, they just were absolutely stinking and absolutely sunk it. And I think like that's a part of that I've always kind of looked at to an extent, but I've never like fully like just bought a calendar segment, if you know what I mean. But like when the fixtures do come out, for all the guys I've got serious collections for, like you do, I've always anyway, you try and see like, oh, there's a good run, or there's a good run at the back end of this segment, or before Christmas, or right after the winter break. But even at that, it's hard to do that because fixtures will change on TV schedule, and then the Champions League gets a draw, and then the Europa League gets drawn, and things get a bit wonkier. But now, like obviously, everything's pretty much in tablet at this point, so you can have a better idea. And the more fun part about doing it now as well is that like we're 7 games in, like we mentioned at the top of the show, so you know who's playing, you know who's in form, you know who's getting rotated weekends and midweeks, and it makes it a bit easier. It's a bit more tangible to right. Okay, well for those 4 games, this is the centre back I want, this is the striker, and then these are the the pieces that gel it together or whatever. But yeah, I was tempted to do it with limiteds and just try and have a bit of fun in terms of just try and build a like Villarreal is the most obvious one I think at the moment across Europe, but I'll be doing it in a bit more detail with all you guys and whoever else wants to join on Tuesday. We'll be doing a kind of beginners roster build kind of live stream. I went across like the top 5 leagues and tried to find the Villarreal in each of them, if you get me. And there's not really any other ones that are that obvious or that great, to be honest with you. And that's what kind of highlighted to me, like it is a great strategy, and it is like you can kind of do it, but there's so many fixtures that for so many teams are questionable. You know, there's not many clear cut good fixtures you can just say easy. That will be a 3-0 win. That will be a 1-0 win, or depending on the team or whatever.
100%. I think that's where the split stack comes in, though, doesn't it? Like you don't necessarily have to go for the attackers of Villarreal maybe because they're not on it, or vice versa with the defense. Like that's kind of the beauty of chopping and changing and not going a 5-man stack, because Villarreal's next 5 fixtures or whatever might be good, but who's it good for? Is it good for the defense? Is it good for the forward? Like, who is it actually good for? Because chances are it ain't good for all of them,
Yeah. Then, you've got the Celtic strategy here where it's good every weekend, but not good every midweek. Yeah. It's just much to my dismay. But yeah. That's part of it as well. So when I was looking at that, I was only looking at like Baena and like the forwards, and then I was like, okay, does someone in Serie A have some good defensive runs where they've been tight at the back and the fixture, they're not playing any of the big 5 or this kind of thing. And I won't spoil it. I had some findings of some correlation, that thing that people say you can't find, where it's like 5 random guys have 5 random good games together. I found a few of them, there's a few of them in there, which is a wee bit of fun. And I thought maybe I just buy all these guys as limited and just say on game week, whatever, I won't give it away now. This is the random 5 I'll have, and then on this game week I'll have this totally different random 5, and maybe they're from the same team even, and maybe it'll pan out, but we'll see how it shakes out. It's all a good bit of fun in that. But I do think the more flexible galleries will maybe adjust like that a bit more. Like you'll have like your core gallery of the team you support or whatever you've kind of fundamentally built your club on, and then those trade pieces or those speculative backup goalkeepers or wonder kids, maybe a lot of them for a lot of galleries turn into, this is my striker for 6 weeks, this is my defender for 2 months, and that kind of thing. And again, when I talk like this, I give you flashbacks to little things we spoke about before, but it's like when you do buy guys that have got good fixtures, like you kind of, I've always found it's pretty much the thing that brings it full circle. But once you've got a good couple of fixtures under their belt, if they are a short-term thing, you do need to sell them with a fixture on the table, maybe 2. Like you need to give somebody that reason to, they're playing bottom of the table this weekend, and you've already had them for 3 good weeks. Sometimes you maybe need
benefited.
You just need to accept this is what gets them sold. Is that they can have this last one, kind of thing.
100%. I think. Yeah, I do this strategy, and I don't do it in the sense of like this is like at the forefront of my mind with my in-season stuff, because it's all about winning cash in the now, isn't it? Really, like ultimately within season. Whereas like with my under 23 boys, like that is like a separate gallery within the gallery. That's just like a thing that I'm all about accumulating cards over time, watch them get older from 17 to 19, become starters, and then obviously finish off at 23. But I'm less sort of like, oh, this guy's got a good 5 fixtures in under 23. Like, after time, you'll have an established bunch of players, which you'll just try, you'll use the players with the better fixtures on that game week. But I'm not like necessarily going out and like searching for good fixtures for my under 23 guys, because like, not saying the incentive's not there, but for under 20 for in season, like at any level, like the incentive's there, because that's where the big money's, or any money realistically, is made on this game right now. So it's like, that is where I think, those fixture, the next 3, the next 1, the next 4 games are good for this guy, so I'm going to bring him in type of thing. I think that's where I get like the most, where you'll get the most benefit out of doing that. Whereas like we're under 23s, for me anyway, and you could maybe argue this of like in Classic in general, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't fixture prep for Classic, but I think you can do it differently, right? Because you've got collections, and most people will have a contingency of Classic cards that they've accumulated over the year, whatever. So there's less need, I think, for the most part, to like sink money into more Classic cards that have good fixtures for 4 games, because it's like, well, they just turn into another Classic card that you own with average fixtures now. So like, that's the thing. Like you mentioned, It's good to sell on before one of those good fixtures ends, maybe. And yeah, I think it's just massive for in season. Like this thing works for in season, and that's where you should be putting your energy, I think, personally.
I think that's a good kind of, like, I think the good thing about behaving that way when you are kind of building your gallery is like it should give you some extra, like, I can't remember who was talking about it recently, but they were talking about like winning rewards and how you equate them into your spend or whatever, how you equate them. Is, I've always kind of looked at it as like the gallery costs the entire sum of net deposits and withdrawals, if you know what I mean. And the contents of that obviously varies, but so like adding in like rewards, they just kind of come into the collection, if you know what I mean. So just, if you're to think of your collection as I spend £100 on it and I've got 100 cards, it's £1 a card average. Well, when you win one, it's now 101 cards, so it's like a 99p average, or whatever that's. And and I forget why that's relevant to what we're talking about, but I was sorry. So but
Mike's got a good question there though. Do you guys use opposition score on the right side on SD? Personally, I don't like hide it. Because for me, I just move my screen over so like I don't have to look at it, basically. Like, I don't want it to come into my forefront of my mind when I'm building, because I think it's quite off-putting, and it's obviously quite valuable in some ways as well, as far as the information goes, but ultimately you're just looking at like what other teams have scored against the team that your guys are playing, but those guys aren't the guy that you're looking at in your gallery, right? Like, if I'm looking at Kimmich and he's playing Bochum and they only let 45 points, fantasy points for midfielders in the last 5 games, but like, these guys ain't Kimmich. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see, I get it, but I also don't, because it's got to relate to your gallery, your players, if that makes sense. And I feel like it sways, like it shouldn't be a thought for me anyway. Like, I don't like thinking about that.
Fair. I do like it for defenders, like fullbacks especially. Like, if I see like a fullback, whether I'm building someone else's lineups or my own, but if I see that like Theo Hernandez has got that opposite, it's like, okay, well, if left backs do well against this team, Theo's going to do no bad as well, or Hakimi or fucking Trent or whatever. So I just, when you were talking, I was thinking I only really do like it for defenders. I don't really give it much thought for anyone else, because that can be quite a hard matchup to simulate, for the most part. But like wide players, fullbacks especially, maybe centre backs as well, depending on who we're talking about. A lot of the things that make them good in a match, or good potentially versus a style of opponent, are kind of much more like known elements. Like, if a centre back does good against a team, it's probably because they're winning lots of duels. That means their forwards lose a lot of duels, and if you're a strong defender that wins duels against a guy that's giving the ball away, that's probably something that might marry up. But midfielders, strikers, maybe attacking wingers, it depends who you're talking about. But so many of the elements that go into that are a bit more murky, I think. But yeah, I've never really thought about it before, to be honest with you, in terms of I like it or the value on it or anything. But defenders, I say fullbacks is something that just jumped to my mind. I always look at it for fullbacks, maybe centre backs, but I don't mind it. I'll try and remember what it was I was babbling about, because I'm sure it was going on to something halfway. sensible, in line with what we're talking about. But I was also thinking about what Agent Cooper had asked us here, and it's like, do you think it's more fun now than what it used to be, in the sense of like the game model and what you're shooting for and all the rest of it? The first thing that pops into my mind is I think it's way more fun picking teams, and the amount of teams I've got, and the amount of teams that I feel like are alive until Sunday night, Sunday morning, depending on how the weekends went. I think so. That I think a big part of it is a lot more fun, but yeah, I think enough people have said it, but I'll say it anyway. But like the random jackpot element of like, you've got first, you've pulled something incredibly massive. Like, that's obviously a bit of a wet fart now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think my gallery was never really built on the whole like play all star and try and win Mbappe model ever. So I'm not going to say like I missed it, because I didn't really never really played for that. Even though that was a great thing to do, like it was, it was really good. But at the time I was playing under 23, which is, I guess, the baby version of all star in some ways. But yeah, I can't say like I didn't. Yeah, I'd never found that fun in the first place anyway to like miss it. Not that other people didn't, because I know it was a big part of the game and stuff. But yeah, you could probably argue it ain't as fun from a like not punter's point of view, but the sort of the romantic side of old school Sorare, where you could play 5K league guys and win an Mbappe, and that has been diluted over the years to where that ain't possible anymore. But that was I just think that was probably tied in with how Threshold used to just give value to really mediocre cards for the most part, sorry. Whereas the stars at one point were really suppressed, weren't they? They were just very suppressed in price, because why would you go and buy stars if you can just go buy 5 Threshold farmers and farm Threshold? That was literally the whole premise of they need to do something, which was it turned into in season. I don't know whether anyone saw that come in as far as that model, but that was what it tried to solve.
Yeah. So you think it's more fun now?
Yeah, because I never experienced. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I've way more lineups, and there's more corners of the game that you can get into, I think. And yeah, I like the segregation of it, to be honest. I do. Like, I like the segregated Prem and the Bundas and whatever. Not that I play them all, but just the fact that they're there, I think they are a bit more fun. Yeah.
It's kind of easier to stay away from, or is it easier? I don't know. Is it easier to stay away from the leagues you don't want involved in? Because that's always been something that people have, like, oh, I don't want to play All-Star and win a K-League guy. Like, obviously not everyone gets first. Some of them finish 120th and get a tier 4. So, yeah. So do you think, like, I don't know, I'm across a lot of regions for the most part, so I don't know, but yeah, is it maybe easier to stay away from the stuff that you're not as interested in, especially with the champ stuff, because you can just live in the league competitions to spread out rather than spreading from champ to Chally to Asia to America, whatever,
Yeah, and I think it is easier to, like you said, like remove yourself from places. Definitely. Like I've removed myself from contender outside of winning an under 23 contender guy, which I'm fine with because I can use him under 23. But I'm not like interested in older contender guys, because that's just not where I want to play the game. And there's definitely value in playing there. We've seen people win. You can still win things there. Like, I'm not saying you can't, but that's just not where I'm interested. Like you said, you can definitely segregate yourself way more than you could before. 100%. Like, Mike's probably all La Liga now at this point, and couldn't really do that before. There wasn't a La Liga comp, so that but then, has that been a success for Sorare? That's another question in itself, right? Like, because I think that whole concept of having a Bundes, a Prem, a La Liga, and whatever, I think that was part of, or is part of, like the marketing of the game, isn't it? It's like, come and play the La Liga version of this game. Come and play the Prem version. And has that been an actual success? I don't know. That's a different probably question, isn't it? But I think that was one of the big reasons why they brought it in, the segregation of it, because, should we, why can't we, sort of project the big nature, or the large audience nature of those leagues, and try and attract people that only want to play those leagues, and then they can branch out to Prem, or then they can branch out to Challenger if they really want. I get it. I think it makes sense. I just don't know whether it's actually like worked.
It's hard to tell from where we're sitting, certainly. I was thinking there as you were talking, like, I've definitely noticed more of an integration with La Liga and the Bundesliga, like social media-wise. You maybe seen the Rookie of the Month thing that went out this month for the goalkeeper we were
Yeah, yeah,
talking about on Friday, which I thought
yeah.
was well-timed, of course. So stuff like that's really cool. But somebody had a great comment. I think it was Daz Bala. I replied to him as well. But surely for that kind of thing, they could do a rare and a limited Rookie of the Month, Kaoru Santos, whatever his name is.
Think so, wouldn't you? Like
Even
they've
just
done
one.
sunrises. I
Yeah,
know. I know. Like it's just value at like it's such added value to a card, you know, and people will pay a bit more for it because it's a one-off type of thing.
Even if it was on the back, Harry, would you take it if it was on the back?
I think they've fluffed the backs so far. Like I don't think they've really taken advantage of what's going on. Like I don't like the randomness of like the thing at the bottom, like most
Yeah.
saves and most
This is a
toenail
defender.
clips. Like and he's got clean sheet. Yeah, I just like, and the highest score thing is to do with like your captaincy bonus and stuff. I just think it, for whatever reason, it's pulling in info that I just don't think people care about. I love the whole like football ultimate team version of it. It's like, how many games has he played for me? How many goals and assists has he got for me? I know that doesn't apply for a goalkeeper, obviously, but you know, just keep it simple. I think simpler the better it kind of is, and the randomness of the actual event that's shown at the very bottom just makes it a bit gimmicky, I think. Like, what's Shagler got? Like, he's a CDM. Like, he ain't going to have many big chances created. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I would like I don't know if we did this on the deadline show or whatever, but I was saying somehow, I would just want them to have this top row here on the back of the card, you know,
Yeah.
positive decisives. Nobody cares about negatives, you know, and but just have them like appear as they happen. So when you get the card, it's got nothing. He gets a goal, it shows one goal. He gets an assist and a goal. The next week, it shows 2 goals, 1 assist. He gets a clearance off the line, that'll show up. You know, like if they get it, you don't need to have them all there with zeros and shit and wait for stuff to happen. But you know, if he only scores goals and gets assists and just have them there, don't leave the rest. Don't bring it on. Maybe that's a wee bit too busy. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I think I agree with you.
But yeah, I even thought like even on the back of the card you could have like Rookie of the Month or something. Even you can't mess about with the front of it too much, perhaps. Like maybe
like Player of the Month and like just even like their scores, scores accumulated, and he qualifies for he won Player of the Month on Sorare for defenders this month, or I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. I just think
that was like official Bundesliga Rookie of the Month he got. You know, so you're thinking for like the champ
that
guys, you could do that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. For whatever leagues, because all the leagues have got something a wee bit different, don't they, for Player of the Month and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be something that's quite templatey, I suppose, because you need to kind of look at it on a league by league basis. But even a Lamal, like, imagine getting a Yamal Rookie of the Month or something.
Like so fun, like such a sick card to have and win, and I don't know. Yeah, they're missing a trick with stuff like that. They really are. They're still behind for whatever reason. They're still really far behind on, even though they have done specials in the past and stuff. I just think a consistent Player of the Month or Rookie of the Month or whatever it is, there's surely room for them to do that. Like, there's got to be headspace in away days. Oh, is that
It's away days. That's what I was just thinking.
maybe click the thing. See who he's following and stuff. Probably not. Maybe though.
Maybe.
Oh no, it probably is because he is a Leeds fan. So yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, Alexei Tanaka, Joe Perot,
and they all play for Leeds. Yeah.
Got himself a Yamal. How did he get this? I wonder. Did they buy it? Collected.
Did he just win it? Oh, he bought it. Wow.
Then he realised he didn't play for Leeds. Fair enough. That's a fun discovery.
Yeah, it's a random one.
Oh, what are the chances of that, eh? For the cards you could look at on the market.
That's a bit random. Very random.
Aye. But yeah, I think so far, like I'm finding it a bit more fun, but I'm definitely not. Like, this is definitely my worst season for winning stuff. No two ways about it. Like whether that's card value, money value, I don't know, whatever. It's definitely been a lot harder for me to get into the glory, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's a like if you had like all your Super La Liga, all your Super Champ cards, if they were somehow rare version, not rare versions, but like rare cards, 3 times of them, as in like you've got 3 times the amount, because let's just put that as the ratio, if that makes sense. Like, are you more successful at rare then in Champ or in the La Liga, anywhere in that Champ region? Does your super rare cards, like the 40 cards you've got in that region, however it is, if they're 120 Champ rares, are you more successful of like a similar quality? Like we're not talking the Amals, but the similar quality.
I don't think so, because I think overall, as well as I've got some good super rares, I think the overall standard is like a little bit lower than that of what I have at rare. So I'm not sure too many of them converted into similar standing rares make that much of a difference unless they are all in season. Because in terms of classic, like I'm then just fixture matching. There's just a wee bit more variety available for me. I'm not like, oh, I've got a Kimmich now. Like it's not that kind of thing that would happen. So I don't think it's a guarantee.
Not a guarantee, but let's say you did have 120 cards. Surely every week you can have a defensive stack somewhere that gets a clean sheet. Whereas now you said with Sociedad and Girona, if they don't do anything for you, your super rares are kind of dust that weekend. Let's just argue. So you could have 10 versions. What I'm saying is you could have 10 options that weekend now at rare.
And fucking Alias Garcia moves in the summer. I get Coop Miners in to replace him. Coop Miners is injured.
Is he actually injured? Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's out till like fucking December or something. After the elongated transfer to Juve, and then he's played a wee bit. He's been acceptable, you would say. It's not great, but that's fine. And now he's injured.
Could work with that, but Jesus Christ.
I've just got a mad power of pain.
You've had a lot of injuries. That's the issue though, Quinny, right? It's super rare. There's only so many injuries you can fucking absorb. I find that myself, especially in under 23. Like, you get a couple of injuries to some of your big boys and you're just toast, and especially to goalkeepers. Like, you've had Silison's obviously injured. I know you've got 4 starters, which is nice, but it's a killer. It's a real killer. Your Koopman is your best mid goes, or one of your best mids. You're looking around then, you're going, well, what's the point of me playing now for 2 months? In theory, like that's the issue with Super Rare, because they're not easy to replace, really.
Yeah.
That's my only worry. Is just like it's hard to absorb some of these little injuries and stuff, and yeah.
Goretzka's fucking benched.
Who's that? Sorry, Goretzka. Yeah.
Yeah, Goretzka's fucking dead. I see Riquelme got into the Spain squad, but to replace you.
Yeah, he got called up. Yeah, I did see that. That's cool. Like McGinn got injured, or is he back?
He should be back after the international break. Okay. He was injured. Not sure exactly when he's back, but back soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you've just been really unlucky. You've had quite a few injuries to some players that are probably getting into your best 5, if we're being honest, most weeks.
Yeah.
How can you absorb that? Do you know what I mean? It's just so tough. Cunha's been good.
Yeah.
Probably argue your forwards have probably been the best, haven't they, really? Which is the toughest part to get right. And
they don't hit that high, most forwards anyway. If you've got a mid or a defender that's ripping, they're normally breaking 80s. So strikers are breaking 70. That's kind of when they're doing good for you.
For them. Yeah.
So
100%.
So I don't know. It probably would, but I'm also like, I don't know if it's just stubbornness or if it's conviction, but like I'm pretty certain that I will have a big win or 2 this year. Like I think I should, like in theory, like I should win roughly the same amount as I normally would, but it's maybe the frequency is totally changed, or the actual mechanism for it. So I'm still, and again, even if more people do get pissed off with Super Rare and leave, maybe that just helps me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe at that point, it's not much of an
tell everyone to leave.
But I'm quite confident it will turn around at some point in terms of like I'll get 1 or 2 wins. It'll be like a great month of like, oh wow, I'm so glad that I stuck at it, or I had this XP thing going my way, or whatever. Because there's a few strategies on the way. I'm not going out there with like Kimmich's or even anything anywhere near that. Whereas in rare, like when I look at this region, because I think champ is the region you want to have your, you know, your main focus on, just for the card quality you get and card payouts and whatever. Yeah, I don't think there's anything too amazing here anyway, where I'm like, and the rares have been doing pretty fine, to be honest with you, for the most part. Defenders are all just, apart from Guardiola, Angelino have been pretty solid, but the rest of them are all just guys. They're all fine, you know, and it's just trying to get a fixture lined up, which is fine. But
seems like Sostad are getting a little bit better though, aren't they?
yeah, injuries are coming back. Sucic has been good. Zubimendi's playing the Rodri role for Spain, so hopefully he comes back with a wee rocket up his backside.
Yeah.
As well as one or two other ones. Almost been injured.
Yeah.
Losing O'Reilly from Celtic to not even get him for Brighton. It's just a big fucking hole.
Yeah, I mean, how can you absorb? You know, do you have two, or do you still only have? Or do you have
two.
One? Yeah, like you're going from having the best under 23 contender midfielder there is possible to
Zero.
nothing. Like it's just like no, it's just two of them, not even fucking one, two. Yeah. So hard to place, man. Like it's just not. It's really tough. Like so tough to like absorb, to replace and absorb, and you know he was like the main sort of go get a few in contender. So taking him out of that, not two captains, yeah, two auto captains that score basically 80 to 100 every week for the last year. How are you supposed to win as much as you were before? Like it's impossible. Like actually impossible.
Yeah.
So tough. I watched that Oscarson, whatever his name is, the Icelandic kid against Wales on Friday. He's a fucking animal.
He's a fucking goal scorer, isn't he? He's a wee poacher waiting to happen.
He's like spun this one time. He spun Ben Davies inside out. He's hit this ball. It's smashed off the crossbar. Johnny Ward hadn't even dove yet. Like he hit it so hard, it's just ballooned up into the air. Yeah, first half he didn't do anything, but second half he was just he was everywhere. Like he's basically like a baby Haaland, like as far as athletic ability goes, and he's just like so big, and he can move his body so quickly as well. And then he's on goal before you know it, and he got a wicked strike on him. Like he should have scored a goal or two.
I'm glad to hear that. I've seen him play twice. I was pretty impressed with him. I thought, this guy's got a bit of something. You know, he'll come good.
He'll do well. He'll do well in La Liga because they're not the quickest defensively, really. And he's got a bit of
powerful and sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just like that guy Perez type. He's just big, strong. He'll bully people and he'll sort of bulldoze his way through goals and stuff. But he got a shot and a half on him.
As I was talking about this, I was just clicking through that just for gandering at it. But I was also I've got that Sociedad collection from that year, and I was only going to really mess about with the ones I've picked up so far. But on that whole 50% box thing, I was thinking, you know, if I did get a Sergio Gomez out of this, I've also got the Oscarson, and then there's a Sucic and an Aguerd. Like, I've probably got, you know, if he keeps playing, maybe have a wee in-season shout.
Yeah.
Very quickly, you know, so I don't know. And another thought that kind of crossed my mind with that Lassaneur, because I'm not that high on him as an individual, but I thought maybe I could trade him for classic Ramiro, but no, not a chance. This guy's still like treble the price.
Wow.
Of my guy. Classic to in season, which just feels like, in terms of how everyone sees the market, quite out of kilter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird with some goalies. Like the multiples like nothing, and then with others it's really high. And I was just having a look at Saint Etienne's. How do you spell last on there? Like that?
No, I think it's Lars, like L-A-R-S to start off with.
Oh, there he is.
It's like, and then it's all French. Yeah.
Got you. I mean, next three aren't terrible. Lens at home, Angers away, Strasbourg at home, Lyon away. It's not terrible running. You could probably get a bit out of him.
Yeah. I'll plan on using them if I kind of trade them.
They are not great though.
Yeah.
Like I watched that 8-0 and it was a bad showing. Not that it was any of his fault, but I mean, but then they beat Lille, so it's just like, I don't know. There's a good score in there somewhere.
Nah, he's team 3.
Yeah. He's a box. You know, he'll help you towards boxes, right? That's got to be the aim.
Yeah.
with a
Or with
card
some
on
of
him.
the so sad ones I've got, I could maybe just about get a team out. Maybe
Right.
just
Yeah, him and a Sosted, similar to what I've got. It's like a Kelleher and then my niece guys. Like that's the thing with
yeah,
collections. Like if you've got enough of them, the leftover outfielders, as long as you've got another goalkeeper, will make team 2. Like collections are two lineups worthy, basically. That's kind of how I look at it.
totally.
It's just the keeper in it. It's the keeper.
I definitely agree. I think like especially like with these like building a strategy or starting yourself out now, like you definitely need to look at it like you're building 2 teams, Team A and Team B. And it's like most of the guys in Team B won't get into Team A most of the time, but maybe once in a while they will, you know. And then eventually those guys become Team 3 because you've made Team 1 better. And then Team 1 is kind of split over 2 lineups all of a sudden. And then that B team is Team 3. That's just the way I felt my kind of lineups have went. And I think generally when you think about building your team, that's just generally the way it'll probably will kick out in terms of how long it takes you to get as many top quality guys in as you need. If you can open up your account today with max budget and go buy everything in one day, then different story. But most people kind of work towards it, don't they?
Yeah, I think number one sort of guideline now is, what league do you know best? La Liga. Okay, go get yourself a Villarreal collection, and then if you're happy just playing one lineup and the rest of the lads are just not doing much for you, then whatever. But if you're not, then go get yourself another goalie from a different team in that league. You've got 2 lineups then. You've got an A and a B. A's, very much an A team. The B, like you said, 1 or 2 might creep in now and again. Injuries, like you do need 2 teams because everyone in that A team ain't going to be fit all the time, and they ain't going to be not suspended all the time, and they're not going to be rotated out all the time. So I think that is the beauty of it's just the goalkeeper. It just annoys me that like there ain't, unless you buy the keeper again as a classic, then fair, like the same keeper. Like I just go out and buy a bulk classic, but then it's like, well, he's the same price in season. It's like, why would you really do that?
Yeah. I do think that's something to look at as well. It's like if the difference between classic and in season is minimal, we just get the in season one, even if you don't think you need it or want it, or because it's just options for later, isn't it? If you've got a team eventually that goes out and looks halfway decent, the pressure on what classic cards you've got, you want to minimise that to a Kimmich and that level of guy, captain choice. If you're past the goalkeeper stage of that,
100%.
I've just having a glance into rivals here, and I'm shocked to see somehow I'm losing 8 points in this one. I'm not too sure how I've managed it. I'm losing at the moment by 8 points to Mossel. Same captain, but I've got a super. Different goalkeeper, different everything.
It's the goalkeeper.
Yeah. But he's lost a clean sheet. I've not.
Good point. Yeah.
So I need to see how that shakes out. But I've seen that. I was like, well, how can I be losing?
Yeah.
And then Ireland, I'm 4 points behind. It's Greece versus Ireland. Come on, Ireland. Park the bus fixtures all out attack. That's fun, isn't it?
That's class. 3 clearances already. Mind you, they've had a couple of shots. 2 shots already. Wow.
Come on, Ireland. Park the bus.
Just looking at some, Bakasetas, a little bit of AA. Kelleher, a little bit of AA. Is this a BCM? It is a BCM.
Ouchie.
Big Evan. Ferg.
Bob Gardner. You just know it, don't you?
Yeah, he's always in the DAs, isn't he? Not much of an AA guy, but definitely gets DAs for fun.
Fucking hates AA, that guy.
Weird, isn't it?
He absolutely hates it.
Yeah, he is allergic to AA. Like, actually, do you think it's just duels and stuff? Because he's not like the biggest. I don't know. I wonder.
But he plays well. And you never see him break 45 even without a decisive.
It might be. It must be possession lost, I reckon, that kills him.
Yeah, maybe.
Like trying things, and just, yeah. But what's your main teams then for this upcoming weekend? Have you got anything planned out?
I had a wee look ahead to it already. I don't know. I think with the whole, again, we've kind of referenced it a few times, but the whole Gator Guy Bettis thing, I think it's just kind of highlighted to me that I've kind of focused a wee bit more on Champ than I did. Like I was picking like because I got into D1 champ as well. I was picking champ D1 first, and then I was picking La Liga second, and then I was doing the rest in champ. And I've ended up getting relegated now. So the highest champ division I'm in is 2, and the highest La Liga division I'm in is 3. So it's kind of hard to prioritize 3 over 2. But I think I need to this weekend for the Spanish cards because they're not even great games anyway. But maybe just prioritize it to get them back promoted and stuff. But otherwise, well, it's the rare stuff. I'm quite happy with the amount of in-season cards I've now got, and enough of them are playing where that contender region. Like I think I've got 5 lineups ready to go, maybe 6, but like I'm almost at like capacity, and that's with me not. I've obviously bought some Celtic cards here and there. I've won a few, but I've not like ran out to fill the in-season. Yeah, I've got 2 in-season free classics. So I need an keeper to come my way. And then I could probably get another team out, but it'd be very low quality. So yeah, I'm probably at a nice stage where I'm at where 5 teams, like 4 of them are really strong, and the 5th one's the shaky one. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Lennon Miller's a bit of a revelation for me, and
He's been massive, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a fun little card to have.
Let's build your best champ team.
Oh,
Gutierrez beats Quinny at home to Man City. It's pretty tough. Could be Pepe season there, but then he plays against one of your keepers.
Yeah.
Oriasabal away to Girona. You probably don't want that.
Oh, this is fun. I never see my lineup builder.
So the issue is here, you can't play Sorry against Pepe, so you're basically Mandanda or Skorupski.
Celestin's in training, not cleared medically yet to come back, but he's in training.
Yeah, good. I'd probably go probably go Mandanda, and then extra player. Is Galan going to play, do we think, or is he?
At the moment, it's like 50-50.
Is it?
Yeah.
Angelino. Alias would be nice if he plays here.
Yeah.
Because he might come out for the champ game, but then one of the Girona mids, Yangel. Yeah. Probably, isn't it?
I thought Tati looked quite interesting for this one because Juve have got like 3 ACLs. I thought their whole defence is injured. I thought maybe Castellanos could be good, but it's obviously away to a big team. It's not what you want.
Kuto? Yeah.
Scores have been minging recently, but he's got the potential.
Yeah, he just needs the DAs, doesn't he? Which home to St. Pauli could definitely happen. I still think I'm going Yangel. Something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
And what's that, D2, do you say, in champ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like half that team's La Liga, so I look at that and I think that I'd just maybe pick out La Liga squad first, you know what I mean? And then
I guess. Well, yeah. 2/3 of it, I'd say. 3/5, sorry. No, I don't know, because I don't think you can replace like that Sabitzer fixture if he plays could be monstrous, couldn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Whereas, is there any other monsters in here? Maybe Gutierrez, actually. But not an easy game, is it? Sociedad.
No. It's a fucking pain in the ass game for me, especially.
Yeah, but all your boys are playing against each other. What about contender in season who are Celtic? Ah, wow. Big game, Aberdeen Celtic.
I don't play the Schmeichel in season.
Don't you?
I'm in D1 Classic, whereas I'm in D2 in season. And I don't know. Yeah, like feel free, but build what you want. Build what you want.
I mean, to be fair, Laidlaw's not a terrible fixture either, but so it looks like one of my defenders are going to be the in-season card here, unless Big Shaq at home.
Yeah.
Has Bernardo worked his way in?
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him.
No. Yeah, that's the issue. We're kind of like we don't have a Celtic in-season mid there that I'm confident on. Really. And then probably Big Shaq here.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Celtic left back might play the Valley kid.
Yeah.
I've got Dyson for double forward as well.
I think I'd go that.
Yeah.
If I had to.
That's pretty good. I basically have the Celtic cards you've got there in D1 with
Right.
Rakitic and somebody else.
Is it a
Rakitic,
classic Rakitic?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against classic Rakitic and then go in Valet if he
Yeah, that could
plays.
be good.
That's fun.
That could be very good.
That could work. I just think using classic super in season Schmeichel in classics, just like I think it just kills you a little bit. Not like because he's so like the reason he's so expensive is because people are using him in season. I mean, he's so valuable there.
Yeah, that's fair. But I do think as well he's a wee bit of a differential, as much as a goalkeeper can be.
Yeah, but there's just too many big scores in Contender for goalkeepers to be differentials for me. With your Cecinias and your China, like in Classic, because all those cards, your Zenits, I don't think it comes down to the keeper at that point. Do you know what I mean? It's coming down to like which 4 outfielders score close to 100, basically, each.
But it's kind of like, for me, the anti-Joe Hart, because before I had Joe Harts everywhere, and he was just killing us, whereas this goalkeeper's good. And it's like, you want the good goalkeeper with the best team kind of thing.
But surely you want that in the competition that like wins you the most money, really. Surely D2 podium pays. I know you don't get the card, but surely D2 podium's like okay, isn't it, in Contender?
So that's the team I picked for that.
600 quid. Yeah, I guess it's not that dissimilar to D1 Classic. It's just you're playing against so many other players, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a good team. He's pretty good, to be fair. So, I mean, it's not a bad team at all. Could go Dyson, yeah.
I got a 4th team out, which is like Ida, Valley, Forest. I don't really know what they're all going to do. So I thought, hey, I'll stick them in there and maybe they'll bully that division,
Yeah,
but
they could if they all pop off. What's the cash for Contender Classic D1?
75 entrants. It's half that the other one is at the moment.
That's weird, isn't it? Well, that's a very weird. That won't be the same at the end of the game week, but that's weird though.
Just fix the magnification. Sorry. Nice. So that's 75 now. And that's 133 for D2.
I guess it's D2. Yeah, if it was D1, it'd be a little bit less, but
I've got 2 D1 entries, so I kind of thought I'll kind of shake, rattle, and roll with those 2.
Yeah, that's right. I think because you've got 2, that makes me that just furthers my point. I think you've got to go as strong as you can in D2 Contender because you want to get to D1. Surely, I'm not saying that team can't, but surely because you have 2 D1 classics and you've got so much Celtic quality outfield, I think you could absorb that Casper and use him and him be valuable in season. Personally, I really do. I think it's massive. I didn't realize you had 2. 2 sways me there big time, Quinny. 2 entries, in D1.
Maybe. So what would it look like? I think Valley probably plays, but we can maybe ignore that now. Tresoldi for Kuhn.
Yeah.
And Broholm.
Double Celtic defensive stack, like Valet Alistair or Valet CCV or Valet.
Double defense, Scales. Yeah. Against Aberdeen, I don't know what I want. If I want defense or if I want attack. Yeah. It will be. I think Valley plays, but it's not certain. We'll know that a wee bit closer to the time. And Broholm's not got an easy game, but he's at home and he's all right.
Yeah. Broholm at home.
Hey. So maybe. And then I just try and win that division. Maybe Dyson's the play. Need to see what he does in the second fixture for Japan on Tuesday, but because he'll be coming back to us like Wednesday then, eh?
Yeah, Tuesday game.
So Dyson might not start. Maybe James Forrest is a play.
Potentially, that'd be nice.
Adamida off the bench. Maybe Forrest. Don't know if he starts Forrest against Aberdeen, but when was the last time he started Forrest? St Mirren. Tibbs.
Rickman asks what target we're going for the upcoming Essence thing.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I went bottom target for the most of them. No, the rare I went middle. I just thought I fancy 350 points. That's like an achievable rare figure I'm comfortable with. You know, our squad maybe isn't the best to try and pull it off. This is Scotland, Portugal, of course. It's Tuesday. Ideguchi is the one I'm scared about the most. I don't think he'll do well, or I'm not sure if he'll do well. But yeah, I went mid target for that, and then with the super rare one, I went bottom target just because I've got 5 starters, maybe, or I probably don't with the goalkeeper, in fact. So I just went bottom, just try and getting it. One single entry as well makes it a bit different. How have you went for it?
Honestly, well, I can't do it at super, so I'm just hamstrung to rare. I've got either Costa or Bulker in goal. It's probably Costa. Yeah, it kind of depends on. Like, I don't have any cheat codes, and like I don't have any low L15s that like definitely are playing. That's kind of my worry. But who can I get out here? This low-ish Palestri, but there's no way Lewis Morgan starts, is there? That can't be right.
For Scotland, nah, don't see that.
No. This Gianettis guy, I tell you, keep an eye on him, by the way, for Torino. He's got an assist against Inter. He was out injured for ages, and he's just come back. He plays for Lithuania. He got a bit of AA last game.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a nice. He actually helped me win a under-23 division months ago. Sorry.
Yeah,
it was like a 4-man effort, and I bought him in for like 40 quid or something. And he was
You're
literally
talking about me. I thought it was Richie you got. And I was like, "There's your boy," and then you're like, "No, it wasn't Richie. It was this kid, wasn't it?"
It must have been him. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a Torino mid. That's what I thought at the time, but it's just the one kid you've had.
Yeah, just him. I think he's my only, outside of Busio, actually, my only Serie A player. But yeah, I mean, Juan Caceres actually can fucking do some AA on his day as well. So if he plays, leaves me 50 points. I don't think I've got anyone amazing. Arakai, but he just, Arakai maybe. Dimitri Payet, but he probably plays at super rare all-star for me. I just don't have I literally don't have anyone for 50 outside of those supers unless I go Palestri, I guess. But I mean, yeah, what does that really hit? So what is it? 350. What's the lowest one?
300 for rare. It's like 10 essence or something.
Is it? I'll probably go for the mid one just because it's like, why not type of thing. Faroe Islands one.
This is the rare box, the low target, 10 essence.
Doesn't scratch a surface, does it?
Nah, mid target is 40.
40, yeah, I can get behind that. I'd probably go for the mid.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Soroth just scored for Norway, by the way.
Oh, good. He's in my right. Oh, no, he wasn't in my rivals. I ditched him because I didn't need to go park the bus anymore. Damn it.
1-1. Oh.
Maybe I'm on
assist.
Oh, weighty. I'm still losing to this guy.
Afan Grubber needs to get his act. Oh, that's so annoying. He normally plays center of the 3 and he's fucking on the left. And this guy's scooping everything up.
Bambo.
Bambo.
Love that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this target thing. I don't know. Like the fact that they've done it in international break, I get it, but I'm also like, it's not giving us the full like effect of it. Like it'd be so fun if we had it for the first game. I know we have specialists for this upcoming weekend, but I don't know. It's just a bit deflating. Do you not think?
Somebody said to me they think it's a test. I would be. Okay, I don't mind that if we get it back non-international weeks, and they've maybe. But also, part of me thinks it's kind of like they've done this kind of thing in the past where I can't remember the example that would back it up, but they've definitely done something where they know, okay, we're not actually going to be paying out that much threshold over this period of time, so let's put it on because we know that no one's going to hit it. You know what I mean? Right. So let's make everyone feel like they've got a chance at nothing.
100%.
So there's a part of me that thinks it's just that, but if we got it back in a weekend or a midweek, during European comps or something, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. I guess 50% captain as well. Yeah. If you captain it's 100, you've got 250 to hit between 4 plays. Still not a given, is it? It's still tough. Yeah.
And the big target's a tough one. The super rare's tough as well. Super Rare is just old threshold again, isn't it? I think they're all old threshold, but that 420 gives me flashbacks, gives me PTSD.
And that's only a tier 5 plus, by the way. Like you can't obviously like 50 essence is a tier 4 plus, and you're only getting 30. So
yeah,
120 essence.
If you can smash 480, which is
if your captain gets 180, let's just say he gets 180 on it. If he scores 100, so what's that? 300 points between 4 players. Yeah, 75 average or 60 before bonus. It's still tough going. 100 to smash on the dot and then 60 average.
Nicoman says it's a test. Fair enough.
Yeah, I get it, but
Nathan's asking who's better, Barco or Cecilia. I think I'd take Barco on the fact that the Russian season isn't over, although it takes a huge break soon, and he's younger. So if you were to pick one, I would pick Barco on the basis of that.
I'd agree. They're different positions though, which is tricky, as in like,
Barco's mid.
Who is your forward? Basically, I think the question is who's your forward, and is he better than Cecilia? If that makes sense, because comparing different positions is like a little bit tough, even though you might be playing them both in the either one in the extra position. There's definitely something that's like not fair there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Aye, that makes sense. Because if you're not getting Cecilia and then your striker you've got is a 40 merchant, then probably get Cecilia. It's easier to get a midfielder that's better than a 40 merchant.
Exactly. Rikaman says about the Croatia. There's a Croatia special this weekend. Quinny, did you see that one?
I did not. This weekend? I did. It's a specialist and it's HNL, isn't it? I did see that.
Yeah. Specialist might be quite fun. I'm actually quite excited. Like the only joy I get out of these specialist comps is like, where are my leftovers at, basically. Like I can't say I've prioritized any of the like global comps on these weekends because like I know there's some great, you can win some good stuff, but it's just so competitive.
60% chance of 1 essence. I hate stuff like that.
Oh, it's a killer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an absolute killer.
So 29 cards in this for super, and for rare, I know they're crap, but 238 cards. The cards get serious from top 50-ish, essentially. Top 100, depending on your appetite.
2 average below. Oh, 2 from the same club. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So no stacking really. Well, there's a bit actually. You could go 2 and 2, couldn't you? An average of 50 or below. Maybe might be quite fun to have a look at any smashes, Quinny, on Sorare data, just to see if there's any.
Yeah.
Any big 50 or belows.
See if I've got any cheat codes of my own for a second. Minimum 2 players, 50 or below, max 160 plus. Yeah, you want an OP minus. And they only need to be 49, don't they, to be kind of OP? So you're after somebody that's proper good, but at 49.
Literally.
Yeah, this could be a fun one. But again, do you think that they'll continue to keep the card payouts for this as good as we've seen before?
I mean, I'd hope so. Yeah, I'd hope so, because I know we do have these specials mostly every weekend, but they're in different forms. But regardless, there's still a good prize pool, isn't it? Despite the comps changing themselves. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to. I think they should. Ooh, Stefan Fry 49. That's fun. Yeah, that is fun. But then, like, I can't use my in-season Stefan Fry there. I know I could go buy a classic, but like, I want to play him in season. That's, I guess.
Is this the sort of competition I should be playing with my second team then, maybe?
I mean, there's still lessons there, although it's global, so it does put you into that annoying mode. But like, yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about it.
Well, I've got Kuto on a 39. If he starts,
you're right. You want people who are like between 45 and 49 or 50. Yeah, 45 and 50. They're the sweet spots. I guess you only need 2, so you're already done. You don't need any lowers.
Oh yeah, right enough. I don't get many hires anyway. Midfield anyway.
Well,
Striker.
That's a bit.
That's as high as it goes.
If you don't have them, you're going to be up against monsters now in those 3 positions, right?
Yeah.
That's the the worry.
Yeah, it's a funny balancing act, isn't it?
Really
This is a funny one, right? Because I've drafted this team earlier, and Siganikov isn't coming up in the builder. I had to double check my gallery. Nobody nicked him. You know?
Mate, I've had this with Dante from Nice. He wouldn't show
Yeah.
up for me for love nor money for some reason, but he was on Sorare data. So then I like exported, and then he like kind of came up. But mate, for some reason, I couldn't get yeah, I couldn't get Dante up for love nor money. Really weird.
Maybe some sort of vice grip Sorare data's put on the Sorare to get us all on that button.
It worried me though. I bet it worried you as well.
Oh, big time, mate. I was checking my collection straight away. 2 clicks. I'll be. Where is he?
So I was like, he's coming up, yeah, he's on my gallery, but like, why can't I fucking pick him? But it's weird because he is suspended, I think, for the upcoming weekend, or so it says on Sorare. So I was like, are they like telling me something? Is it because he's like deemed as injured on your thing? Maybe I don't know. I'm just thinking about if like the API is like not pulling in players because they show a certain like an injury scare or something. I don't know.
Could be it.
Yeah,
Definitely
I don't know.
could be
There's
it.
got to be something, doesn't it?
My fail's a 48. Don't tempt me. My fail.
Mate, Kelleher's on 21 AA at halftime.
Jamming. Not done.
Galesy boy.
He's a machine, mate.
Mate, what is going on with these forwards? Parrot,
back.
7 goals lost.
Can he handle that Greek crowd, can they?
No, they're rattled, aren't they?
Yeah, fucking love Scales doing well, by the way.
Scales is doing well. Kelleher
makes me so happy.
He could score really highly here. Where's my Kelleher to? Is he sandwiched between something rubbish? I'm going to assume yes. I mean, if Cyweld can pull his ass out. Finger out, sorry.
Yeah.
Nah, it's probably dead.
It's Unforgiven Internationals, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just so hard to get everything to come together in one. So tough. I've got like 10 Harry Wilsons out, by the way, which is funny.
Rico Man's telling me to get my Theo back in. I'd love to get my Theo back in the club, but I've got a feeling he's more than, I don't know, is he more than I would pay? £46?
Well, super.
Yeah. He's kind of back to being his regular self.
I mean, he's decent enough, yeah.
I just think I'd much rather get, I don't know. I wouldn't mind him back in, but I don't know if he gets it. I don't think he gets in any of the teams at this point. I need another goalkeeper, I think, for that level of depth to then come into it again, because at 4 teams, I'm struggling to do much, you know, so.
I was thinking doing some champ scouting, see if there's any potential cards that get into your contingency here.
Into mine.
Well, yeah, if Koopmans is out, we need a replacement, don't we?
Kinda, but I'm not sure I've got the ability to just outright replace him without horse trading him. I did just bring Sabitzer in, so I don't know if he can actually replace him, but I've got an arm mid that can at least play in his spot, and then maybe I'm putting more pressure on Arnaus and not Arnaus, sorry, Yanghels and these types of guys, maybe.
70 quid for the Kettler, by the way, super.
That's very interesting. But I've never liked him as a mid. Is he better as a mid or a forward?
Tough, isn't it? It's got to be a forward, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's a tough one. Vlasic, is he creeping back?
He may be back, by the way.
A couple of goals. Yeah. Okay, how good was he, by the way, as a card?
He was one of my favorite. I won the Vlasic right early.
Did you?
He was one of my good wins. It was like I won a Vlasic, but I only got to use him for like 4 weeks before this shit happened to him, where he went fucking
no way.
AWOL from Cesca, then into Torino, and can't get a game. But I had him for a wee while, and it was a good fun win. I managed to sell himself for a few quid before he totally died, I think.
Mate, I'm telling you, get yourself a Tanguy.
A Tanguy.
I've been watching every game of Nice so far. He's looking good, mate. Try. There's loads up for sale as well, which is mad.
Yeah. That would half interest me, but I don't know. Do you know what else I noticed, mate? See, fucking Ryan Christie scored for Scotland against Croatia, didn't he?
I know. I looked at it. I was like, oh, that's just unbelievable. That is.
Fucking
I
mighty
did
man.
really think of you when I saw that.
I didn't even get a notification for it. I seen it. I didn't pay attention to the match either. I checked it like later on. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Mate, tell you an interesting one. That Cabinari's just done his ACL for Marseille.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of Harits now at Rare, but I mean, the Super isn't looking like he is. I know he's only done it once, but like he'll be a lot more nailed on now that kid's done his ACL. Well, yeah, he started every single game so far this season, apart from this game, which I fucking bought him before the deadline. And Cabinari started this one. And that was the first time this kid's played, and he's already done his ACL.
I thought that Carboni kid was a centre back. Is he an attacking mid?
Yeah, he's like a cam, number 10.
Everyone's going mental for him. I thought he was a centre back. I don't know why. He looks like a centre back on pictures. I've just prejudged him.
Literally, he hadn't started a game, I don't think. And then he literally started one and he's done his ACL. He didn't do it in that game. I think he did it maybe in training or something. But so that feels like less competition for big Harit. Pavlovic, 100 quid.
It's all right.
Daniel Munoz, 60 quid.
It's okay, isn't it? I've not really got an appetite for many supers, if you know what I mean. Like, I'd be excited by somebody like, I don't know, I was looking at it because I got that Sabitzer. I was like, is there like a wee Dortmund 2% I could put together? And like,
but you're so fixated on the 2% where like I'm looking at like Tango and Ndombele and thinking he's 80 capable for me. Whereas like I love you for it, but you're so like your first thought is like, who's the 2% I could get? You know?
Yeah, is there a Tanguy and Ndombele equivalent? Like,
I do get it, but then I'm also you're like so tunnel visioned on that. I just worry that, especially at super rare, because it's so hard to get good scoring cards. Never mind from the same collection, you know.
Yeah, I know he's different in price, but I'd want a Brandt. Like, that's the sort of guy. That'd be class. Brandt would help me, you know.
Brandt elevates you big time, yeah, big time.
Yeah, so it's guys like that. I mean, you know, like Brandt and Sancho. Like, can I get those two in? That would excite me more than getting Pavlovic or something.
No, I get
it. Value-wise, they're totally different people. So it's just, but I say I've just not got much of an appetite for maybe Ndombele. That doesn't interest me, but it's how I would maybe need to make that happen with Christie, because he's the only one I've got that I would probably ditch and not really think about it.
Yeah. What about a Thauvin?
Tovan. I don't know how you say his name. Back home, Tovan. 80 quid. He's been good.
Tovan. Yeah. 80 quid.
DNP the last game, but
yeah. 18% are there from Marseille.
Needs to be at a trader account as well, I think, to get a ball, to get a move made.
But someone in my Discord earlier was asking me about like he's just sort of bought a few champ supers, but he needs a goalie. And I was looking through the goalies, and like the cheapest goalie you could get was like 350 quid, I think, which was can't remember who it was, but like it's just so hard because like the outfielders are actually quite cheap these days. It's the fucking keeper still is so restrictive, isn't it?
It's still a bottleneck, isn't it?
Big time.
Because nobody wants, especially the in-season ones, nobody wants to give them up cheap.
Right.
Oh, Pavel's got a Tom Bischoff.
Yeah, for fucking 300 quid. He's having a laugh.
In season under 23.
I bought the in season for 20 quid.
Nice.
And I've got the one of this still alive somewhere in the gallery. He's looking decent though recently. There's a bit of AA going around, and
that's quality.
If he gets a couple of DAs, because he has been taking some set pieces, he could be a player again. I do like myself a bit of Bischoff. The very, very poor man's Wirtz.
Yeah. I could do it, but Bischoff doesn't take much.
No, you're right. Yeah, Falcone, that was it. Tom's got it on there. Is it the Lecce keeper, maybe?
He's not. Maybe he's Lecce, yeah.
Yeah, he's literally the cheapest you can kind of get. That's like a starter.
So I just wanted the super rare thing there now as well. I put a price filter all the way down to like fuck all, basically. There's a few guys here that are no bad, but then they would have to be in season plays exclusively. I think they'd be getting 3 of them.
It's getting 3. Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? You're straight into like I need 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it becomes. It just knackers you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you need to really find a few moves you could make.
Big time. Ludovic Blas, yeah, that's an interesting one. How much does Blas set you back? Blas is 110 floor. He could be really good for you, by the way. He's got 5 DAs in the last 7 or so.
He's no bad.
20 AA.
Alexis Sanchez is back at Udinese. I think I've seen that and forgot all about it, but it surprises me to see his card. Don't know if you've seen it, but it's there.
Douglas Luiz. He's fucking fallen off a cliff, haven't he? Having a wicked time. Can't get a game. It's mad, that really, isn't it? Yeah. Locatelli. I don't know if you're on. Yeah, you must be on mute.
I mentioned it somewhere, I don't know if it was for you, but a few weeks ago that Douglas Luiz's missus, Alicia Lehman, was coming out saying like, oh, we both play at the same team, both play the same position, but he earns like 1,000 times more than me. You know, that old tired chat. It's like, for fuck's sake, Ken, wind it in.
I know, wrap it in. How does Barco's in season? It depends if you've got the in-season Barco, which is like a weird River Plate card, isn't it? Like he doesn't have Spartak in season, obviously. So yeah, basically, if you have the in-season River Plate card, then he's in season until the end of or whenever the next Argentinian season starts. I believe I could be wrong, but
yeah,
like if you have this version here, this one, this guy, pretty sure that's in season till the start of the next Argentinian season. But somebody in the chat might definitely correct me.
I think it might be I think it's where he moves to. So I think it's Russia, but they don't do Russian cards anymore. So it's
so that's why it goes off like when the next version of his team's cards come out. I thought, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know actually. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
big bugs.
Some of them aren't that bad for in season, but it's just such low caliber guys that you need to have
like how many times a year are they going to be good is what it comes down to, doesn't it? I think Ian said it earlier, like Lassana is going to score 80 plus 3 times this season probably, so 1 in 10.
Yeah.
When are you going to get that? Yeah, it's until the new River Plate cards come out, Ian says.
Is it? Okay.
Got him for a little while.
Ay, caramba.
Ay, caramba.
Like, how much do you think you would need to swap with somebody to trade a classic for an in-season? Because I'm looking there, there's a Timo Werner in-season at £100.
Yeah.
Surely classic Timo Werner's not much lower than that. Not that Werner's a great card to have, but like, you know, I think you see what I'm saying.
Yeah. If I owned an in-season, go on.
The other Torino card I was thinking of that you've had, I got it wrong earlier with Richie. Was it Linetti? Did you have a Linetti?
Well, Carol Linetti, nah.
Yeah, no, did you not? Was it only that Giannettis?
Yeah, I've only ever had him, I think. Could be wrong though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, how much do I want? So this guy bought him for 100 quid and he's trying to sell him for 100 quid. I mean,
I don't want him. Just asking the question.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to work out. Pranks, he got the 1 of 100 in 5 days ago, but 1 of 10, sorry.
There's an in-season Christopher Ayer for 58.
It's got to be like, I don't know. Depend on the card. Yeah. I'd say it's about 75% of the value, roughly, similar to what Rico Man's saying there.
Yeah.
Ish. Add like 30 quid. Maybe.
In-season Sol Niguez is 63. I know he's injured.
Didn't he get injured as well?
Yeah, but I've got a classic, so.
Yeah. Like, is that just a horizontal? Like, what does that do really? Obviously, get you into the 50% pool, but like, are you even getting into the 50% pool with those cards? Is my thought process, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what you got to weigh up.
Is De La Feu out for the season? He's out for ages,
like 10 years. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the last time he played football.
I think his career's over. I think he's screwed, but I've just seen him there. Thought I'd ask.
He was class, wasn't he? Yeah, 40. About auctions.
I was looking at Barco as well. I'd love to bring Barco back to the club. That would be a good one.
Good for you, wouldn't he? Contender.
We get 2 Barco shirts in the house. You know what I mean?
That's so class. That's amazing.
So, I'd want an in-season one, but they don't go cheap enough. And the classic one, I don't mind as long as it's not a big head. But again, they're not really much cheaper, really.
How much difference is there? I know.
It's a punchy card.
Especially until the winter break. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't really correlate well over that because like Scotland play over the Christmas period quite often, don't they?
Yeah.
Whereas he wouldn't be, but
what do you think about this, Harry? I've got let's just check this page quickly. This guy here has got an in-season Barco, selling all classic rares. Also, the Barco's in season, kind of, right? But he's got 69 supers. I wonder if he would take a super for a rare.
Ooh. He's got a couple of champs as well.
Yeah. Like that Christie, maybe.
Some decent cards in there.
Because that's the in-season one, isn't it? The 3D one.
Yeah.
He's got 2 of them.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Barco. Bought for 3 months ago for 40 quid.
Oof. Selling all classics, yeah.
Nakamura. Which one?
Wow, he has a super rare. He has a super rare classic Barco as well.
The big head one. Aye.
Yeah. That was your card on there, basically. Like, you had that.
That was number 6 or number 4. Nah, it must have been number 4 I had.
This has been... Surfiller had this at some point. What a player.
That was my first super. I was like, oh, this guy's going to be brilliant. Aye. For D3s, and he was brilliant, man. Like, that's why I got the shirts and all that. Like, it was fucking unreal at Atlanta.
He was unbelievable. He was.
And then he went to River and fucking get benched for a bit, 2 years.
That was a weird little move, that, for a bit, wasn't it?
Bakasetas goal.
Ooh, Greece 1-0.
I wonder if we've got any more Park the Buses on the go. Nope, I'm getting humped. 36 points.
Wow, Austria scored again as well. Baumgartner and Arnautovic, exactly the same.
Decisive merchants. I thought, fuck the streak for this night anyway. It looks like the Ireland game screwed me.
Cialis assist. You could see that one coming.
Aye, well, I am kind of. I don't know what to do with a few bits.
Oh, I just got a double DA in that Greece game. Go on. I had
Okay.
Cialis just on Rivals.
Captain.
Yeah, Bakasetas is captain. Ah, bless. This guy went Ireland.
Double forward, no less.
Fucking hell. If he's not Irish, something's going on. I appreciate backing your country. Like, if he's Irish, I'll let him off. But if he's not, wow.
Double striker.
Yeah, just might get my Nakamura Ito.
Yeah.
They've done serious damage this season so far. I haven't had the double DA, but I've been close.
Ravella, says the chat. Ravella, somebody I could get behind.
Oh, Ravella, yeah. Nakamura.
Right, Pavel's got one. He's cheap enough. If Pavel do the deal, doubt it, but you never know.
Man, I haven't dealt with Pavel in so long, and it feels good.
I deal with him all the time. It's not that bad, to be honest with you. You just kind of know what you're dealing with, don't you?
You do, yeah, but like you just know you're gonna get. Oh, you just got loads of uniques in.
Wow.
150 quid for those. It's actually probably not bad money because all those cards look absolutely woeful. Like they're all red X's.
All zeros, aren't they?
And Dombele or Nakamura, Michael Kato. Yeah, again, different positions, right? Like obviously, Ndombele's a midfielder, but yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. It depends what position you need more of. I'd say, Mike. Honestly, yeah, they're both locked, 100%, Mike.
I need to get my phone to do 2FA. Sending Pavel.
Yeah, they're definitely both locked in, Mike. As far as I'm aware, like they've been 90% all season, basically, for the most part. We got an in-season Guardiola in. That's
a fun card.
Oh, this guy swapped a Pavel-owned old Bellingham and swapped 4 in-season cards plus 100 quid. That feels like very stupid. I can't lie.
So you got an old Bellingham for a bunch of in-seasons?
Yeah, but 100 quid. Like he's literally been, he's got his pants pulled down. Yeah. He's been paddled. Like an in-season Guardiola. I'd probably rather that card than Bellingham Classic, if I'm being honest. I would. I really would. 500 quid.
Yeah.
You can go buy Bellingham in Classic now for 500 quid, but...
Oh, really? I didn't realise that was such.
Roughly, yeah.
Oh, you're getting a season Sucic? I wouldn't mind one of them.
Yeah, that was the same deal.
Aye. I wouldn't mind that.
It's just the mid Nakamura. I don't know how well the mid Nakamura scores, but I think I'm going in Dombele, honestly, if you're talking the mid Nakamura, because the in-season's obviously forward, so yeah.
Nice are playing Europe, don't they?
Nice do, but Nakamura doesn't. He plays for Rim, obviously, but yeah, that's the issue with Ndombele, and he's Ndombele, isn't he? Fucking could easily go off the rails quite easily.
Yeah.
So you just got stuck into a pad. Ooh, Otamendi super rare. That might be. It was Nashi's as well. Go on then, Nashi.
And season keeper.
Yeah, he's pretty cheap. This guy, Van der Hart. Herrenveen keeper. I know why, because he's got a cohort in season. Or he won him actually not too long ago. I wouldn't mind that Otamendi card.
It'll probably help you out quite a lot.
A little bit, yeah, but actually in a weird way, the fact like I've got that Luke Ayling super rare who's like as good as it kind of gets for defenders, but like I wouldn't say no to an Otamendi. I just don't know how I could fit him into in season. Torreira in season, that's quite fun. Lucas Torreira. Wow, look at that, 130 quid, Pavel. I might just become the next Pavel. and start scooping.
Just go for it.
Yeah. Start scooping up.
It's hard to find bargains, man, when you really want them, isn't it? It's always when you don't need them, you see people getting mad deals on cards.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
I
Especially at
didn't
Super as well. You're like,
yeah.
I know. Like, Pavel paid 40 quid for this Super Nico here. Like, what's going on there, Quinny? Public offers, 120 quid. And then the 8 to 10 goes for 40 quid.
Nobody's
Like,
looking at options, mate.
Well, that's how I got that Harry Wilson, because, like, nobody cares about him, basically. There's just some little... Ooh, we got Connor Barron in. Boo. From Dream Villain. Oh, Oscar Gluck Super Rare. Wow. He did a little deal with Dream Villain. And a Flamengo. Okay.
Nice. £79 for all those cards. Did you see that?
Yeah. He's just pulling man's pants down, isn't he, for fun?
It's wild.
Quinton Timber. Oh, he's got a Rakitic, Quinny. Super.
Does he? Oh, I don't need supers in that region.
Yeah, you don't anymore. Pavel Trader sends Trubin. And this guy sends all his in-season supers, plus a Kirkers, plus 150 quid. Unbelievable.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Over Torres, 0.15. He loves ripping people off, man, doesn't he, on the secondary? Like,
oh, yeah. You'll buy him off you for pennies on the dollar, but you'll sell him to you, for 10 times that.
So a few of them don't look too bad price-wise, or just in general, but you need to remember it's a different world now. It's not the way supers trade now.
Right.
Let's look at the auctions. Is there anything fun on the auctions?
It's not really, I don't think.
Not that I've got money for auctions, but it's just curiosity more than anything at this point. Like 40 quid's like the minimum bid, isn't it?
On a super, yeah. There's not much going on, really.
Nah. Your Ratiu guy's on auction now, 40 quid in season.
Is he? Well, super. Oh, yeah, there he is. One bid. He could be tasty.
Yeah. McGrath, super rare. The Carboni's there as well.
Great timing from them. Austria 3-1, Quinny.
Oft. If there's none of my guys scoring, then I'm screwed. I'm mega screwed anyway.
Schmidt assist, Leinhardt goal.
The wee right back has got his auction up from Sociedad, Aaron Barrow.
Oh yeah. You like him, didn't you? He scores really well.
Yeah, he's up at 60 quid with 10 bids, so he's probably got a few people watching him.
Yeah, he might have a bit of interest, mightn't he?
First one went for 50 quid, second one went for 140. Or the other way around, rather.
Yeah. Oh, really?
140, then 50. Then this one's at 60 already. Leinhardt scored. I didn't take Leinhardt, did I? Or did I? No, I took Posh, I think. Yeah, Posh has been booked. He picked Leinhardt. Nah, I'm fucked. Boo. All on Korea for me.
Wow, that goal absolutely flipped me. Yeah, Schmidt, killer.
Oh, so it is.
Absolute killer. Oh my god. Tired.
Nice. It's going to be a tough little section after this international break, isn't it?
Sandwiched in with another one, isn't it? Straight after.
Mm-hmm. Aye, the next one's November, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like the 16th around that time.
Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Harry boy, I was planning on being on tonight for a wee hour. I've managed to get 2. Time was absolutely flown in. But
Yeah.
I think it's 4 weekends and then another one. I think the next kind of 5 minutes I'm going to need to turn the stream off. If there's anything anyone wants to kind of throw at us, feel free. But I'm just kind of at
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
5 minute warning for all you guys, just to watch out. Tomorrow I'll have Team Sorare on the channel. We'll be doing the record with Dan and Paul. We'll get some questions ready to go with them. And then on Tuesday we'll be doing the beginners stream, the roster build as well. So it should be a big week ahead, as well as all the football kind of coming back. Me and you will be back together Friday, no doubt, if not before then. So yeah, plenty going on. I just thought Sunday it's a good night to shoot the breeze and line up some ducks.
100%, mate. 100%. Yeah, I'm glad international break is almost over.
Yeah, almost there.
But it is a nice break, though, in some ways.
It's a good time to kind of just double check on things. And so normally I do a wee video where I'll double check on like rewards and boxes, and I did the wee counter thing last time, which was good fun. But I thought I'd probably wait that November break. I thought I'll probably wait till then because I've not had much yet, and I'm hoping like, you know, maybe a wee bit of form catches up to me and maybe some better decisions on lineups, maybe start to pay in a little bit more. But I've deleted so many of my teams tonight, just looking at them, just thinking, oh fuck, I need to wait until a wee bit closer to the time. Who's coming back from international duty? Who's fit and who's jet lagged, and who do we know is going to get benched and stuff?
I don't think I've even looked at like who are the actual best matchups. I know we do this on Friday, but
we have odds and stuff at this stage.
Yeah, we'll have a couple. Celtic are up there, 75.
It's a wee bit that's a bit misleading. I don't think Aberdeen are undefeated as well. You know, like I think we're going to beat them, but it's not going to be easy, and a clean sheet would be very precious. And Dortmund St. Pauli, we've seen already St. Pauli this year, aren't they? Pushovers.
I know. A couple of them are quite funky. Salzburg just got battered by Sturm Graz or something, like 5-1 or 5-0 or something crazy. Barca, Sevilla, PSG at home to Strasbourg. That's not bad.
Yay! It's a beats and assist. Posh goal.
Oh, boom.
Maybe I'm back in it, but Ireland's still going to scream it.
That is a boom.
Still losing by 20 points.
all the German teams are at home, like Bayer Leverkusen at home, Bayern Munich at home, Dortmund at home.
Well, Bayern are playing Stuttgart. It's not too great. And who did Leverkusen have? Frankfurt. That's tough as well, by the way.
I know.
Clean sheets of the premium in champ from looking at that.
Yeah. Atletico Madrid at home to Leganes, not bad.
Yeah, if you can get the Madrid team right, that could be good.
Mm-hmm. Tottenham, West Ham at home.
Rangers away to Kelly is like a friendly normally. Kilmarnock are Rangers, like in terms of the fans and stuff like that. Like, you know, like the manager's former Rangers captain Derek McInnes. It's just Kilmarnock Rangers. It's just always a good game for Rangers. Not always. Kilmarnock have beat Rangers a few times, but you look at that and you think, oh yeah, they'll have an easy weekend.
Like Hoffenheim at home to Bochum, not a bad fixture there.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty fun. Madrid, Celta Vigo away, not easy.
No, not hard either, but
not hard, no. But yeah, we're into the 50s now. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we haven't got odd through for everything, I guess not. But let's have a look. Where does it stop? Zagreb don't have rewards. Don't have odds yet.
What did you make of Pogba? I was close to trying to trade Pavel for a Pogba the other day.
The Marseille thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Like him, Rabiot. I don't know. There's just a little bit of like an old timer syndrome going on. Like, are they really his type of players? Like, what's his name? De
Deserving.
Zerbi? Like,
Pogba could be gross.
I mean, he could if he's willing to play for. Yeah, I just don't know. These players just like. I just think it's so hard to come back after being out for so long. You know.
But see, because he's been more than written off, surely he's got mad motivation.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
That's what I
But
thought. Because why bother at this point? You get a 4-year ban. If you know, like if you can come back from it early, like why do that if you're not going to? Let me show you. I'm not a
relish
fucking
it.
joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won the
don't
league with
know.
Marseille, get up your PSG, fucking back in the Champions League, and you know, not saying that will happen, you know, but surely
Right,
he's
yeah.
got to be coming at it with that level of, I'm going to show everyone I'm not a joke.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with you. I just think as the game sort of moved on a little bit too fast for him in some ways, like like he needs to be so fit to come. Like we've seen like Dele Alli the same. Like not that he's Pogba, but like I just think it's really tough to like get going again. You know, like body wise. I'm not doubting his his technical ability, but just worry a little bit of things like that. Just really tough to come back from.
Yeah, not fair. I don't know. I just think
Yeah,
like, I know you've got that match sharpness, it'll take a while to come back to you, but in terms of like physical condition, they shouldn't really be, they should actually be pretty good, if anything, you know.
you'd hope so, but you just never know with these players, mate. Honestly, some of them just completely just sack it off.
Yeah, just fall apart.
It's just so hard to get going again, I think. But you know, I wouldn't write him off.
I was just looking at them now. At 50 quid, I was mad tempted on a rare. 60 quid, I don't think it's too much worse. But look at the card design on that limited. Doesn't match the rest of them. That's weird, isn't it?
Oh yeah, is that? Oh, yeah, that's weird. So there's a honeycomb before the honeycomb, no?
Or maybe just because it's national series. Maybe Pogba never got cards at the club, did he? So it's, I don't know, it's just weird.
No. Roxy. Yeah. Has anyone gambled on the rare?
I think so. It was at 40 quid, 50 quid before the news kind of went. When I seen the news, I was like, oh, how much is he? And it was like 40 quid, and a day or two later, he's up at 60. So I think a few of them moved.
October, yeah.
Not that tenor one. That was when he was banned, but this one. Yeah, October, sorry, yeah, August.
It'd be a nice little like differential card, maybe. That could be quite fun from a low min perspective.
Yeah. He needs to smash big, but
it's hard, isn't it? It's hard, man. Like
Pavel's got one.
I kind of agree with Charles there. Maybe an MLS little stint. Like he would be really good there if he was somewhat fit.
I think if he goes to MLS, I wouldn't be interested in him at all. I think that's when he's phoning
like
it
challenger,
in.
right? Like
no, but I think in general, like if he goes to MLS or Saudi, he's just phoning it in. But if he goes to like Marseille and he goes to like a team like that, I think he's got to be coming at it with like, I'm going to show everyone. If he goes to MLS, I think we all know he's just going there for the pictures. You know what I mean?
Agree. But like those could still translate into good scores out there just because of the standard, right? Like
I don't know. I think that's more. I think Pogba going to MLS in that situation is more like it makes him more likely to be an MLS flop. I think one of those guys that goes there and doesn't ever really cut it because they're kind of be fucked with the pitches and the travel and it's not all just glitz and glamour and hanging out with movie stars every weekend. Like it's actually
on his team in it. Like if he's with Messi and that, then like that could be quite fun.
Imagine that,
isn't it? Messi and Pogba.
That would be something. And MLS as well.
That'd be so funny. But like if he's on DC United or fucking New England Revolution, like you got no chance.
Look at
sick, isn't it?
Oh, I remember somebody put a post out about this, and it's like only been used in 3 game weeks or something.
Ah, no way.
It's like just never.
Somebody paid like 40 grand for a David Turnbull unique.
Yeah.
Never mind 100 grand for Pogba.
I told him at the time that was, or maybe it's only won 3 rewards or something. But Turnbull was a false prophet. He was never going to keep that up at Celtics. It just wasn't he?
No, I agree.
Right. Only P and Banatelli. They interested me over the last few days. Højbjerg's crazy for Marseille. Yeah. He looked finished at the Premier League level.
Yeah, Premier League's too quick for him. Like, he can't run at that level anymore. Like, Farmers League is going to suit a Højbjerg. Like, no disrespect, but
if you've got a Højbjerg doing all the water carrying for Pogba, then you just let Pogba be gross, ping the long balls, take the set pieces, be the 6'3" fucking monster in the middle of the pitch. You know what I mean?
Duels for days and just gliding past. I mean, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Whether that happens or not, that's
different question, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, hi guys, I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me and Harry tonight. I know we've had an absolute blast. You'll find a link to Harry's channel in the description in case you're not subscribed already. I think you probably are, of course, but in case you aren't, feel free to check it out. If you're not subscribed here, make sure to do that, obviously. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again, everyone. You can say bye, Harry.
Oh, bye, lads. I thought you were doing it.
Satara.